Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2, and I'm back again, can't even talk right. I'm back again with another book review. I have read the entire Divergent series. I have enjoyed every book thoroughly. Um, when I picked up Allegiant, I really wasn't sure what to expect, honestly. I knew that the story between Four and Triss had been fleshed out quite a bit, and Veronica even develops this more in this particular part of the trilogy. But there is quite the twist ending that I really didn't see coming. But having read The Hunger Games and absolutely adored it, I think that the ending in Allegiant is more accurate and just more fitting with the whole apocalyptic genre. And since this series is definitely much darker than The Hunger Games is, except in Mockingjay, which I think this and Mockingjay, yeah, they pretty well match each other. Um, except for the ending. I'm sorry, that's my only little spoiler. I'm not gonna say what happens in the end of either Mockingjay or this book, but I absolutely love this book despite that. I know there are probably a lot of fans out there that are probably outraged and just irate at what happened, and I'm not going to say what actually occurs, but yes, it's tragic. I will give you that. I almost cried, but I was to the point where I was so shocked and taken aback, and it was just something that I knew was going to happen. I just had this feeling in the pit of my stomach. Because usually when I really like a character, something horrible happens to them, and it happens every single solitary time that I really like a character. And with every other television show that I've watched, I mean, uh, I'm actually going to go into one of my favorite episodes of Doctor Who to illustrate this point. Uh, this is why I do like Rose and Ten quite a bit. I'll admit to it. I think that they're a very adorable couple. Um, in the episode where they defeat the Dalek, um, there's an alternate version of Rose that has a meta-crisis doctor with her, a human doctor that she can live out the rest of her life with. Now, if I were Rose, and granted I would love to be in that position any time, just sign me up. I would be very, very happy because I love David Tennant. Um, she just would not accept that. She wasn't satisfied with the fact that she would have the doctor all to herself. But he's not you. Oh, come on, Rose. You're getting a lifelong opportunity. A cosmic door has opened to you. Take it. And when I saw that episode again, I was literally yelling at my, which I usually don't do. I was saying, "You idiot girl! You imbecile! How did you know? Ah, you're such a stupid head. You're a moron." Oy. And I'm just literally gritting my teeth over this schmuck of a girl, and I just could. Ugh. I thought, yeah, there's a reason why the English call you a chav. I'm just saying. I mean, I love Rose, but that's the only thing I did not care for her character. If she had any kind of capability to understand what the universe was handing her at that time, but then again, who among us would even believe that? And I was faced with that kind of feeling here with Allegiant, and I thought, I can't fathom what just happened, what just occurred. But I had another thought in my head. I thought, this is how it would happen in reality. if this actually occurred, and it still carries out that whole very disconcerting kind of Gattaca reality. If you've ever seen Gattaca, it kind of um, capitalizes on that whole theme. This the idea of controlling somebody's destiny through gene markers. To me, that is scary, and I hope to heaven that this never happens. Because if it does, and if we have the capability to go to one of the thousands of Earth that are in the Goldilocks zones, um, I'm out of here. I'm taking that shuttle. I'll take like in my stories, I'm gonna take my Galactic Railway Express, and I will be gone. I'll be out of here. Just you can forward. You'll get to my email. I'm not sure how quickly your email will get to me, but granted, I will get back to you somehow. Granted, suffice it to say, if the technology can keep up with that changing sort of quantum leap that I'm going to have to make just to travel to another universe. But anyway, I enjoyed the book. Let me just put it that way. I really savored it. I loved it just like all the other books. And I'm looking forward with great anticipation the Divergent movie, which I'm sure is going to be far better than the Hunger Games. I know a lot of people are going to look at me like, why are you saying that? You're a big fan of the Hunger Games. You've loved every Hunger Games book ever written. Yeah, I have. I will tell you this. I am a I'm a huge fan of that. I also love the YouTube series East, which is based on such ideas like the Hunger Games and it's a post-apocalyptic future. But it's different in its own way. It's very well done. I would like to think that it even outdoes the Hunger Games quite a bit in the way that it's written and everybody who's involved. The actors, the plot, the writing. It's all very intriguing and it captures your attention right from the beginning. And these storytellers, teenagers though they be, they're wise beyond their years, and I give them mega kudos. And it's just like with Veronica Roth in this, she has wiseness beyond her years, and it's very allegorical. And I just hope that our government doesn't come to a point like this. And I think it's fiction like this that is calling us as a nation to wake up and realize that this could possibly happen. The Hunger Games could happen. And I don't want to live in a future like that. And I was watching the news today and they were talking about greenhouse gases and now they've come to a conclusion that humans are responsible for a little bit of our climate change, even though some of it we know from soil samples, carbon dating, etc., that yes, it's evolutionary. We had two ice ages for Christ's sake. Um, but it's really quite intriguing. We could we could have had alternate energies 10 years ago. We could have had alternate energies when I was 7, I think, because when I was 7 years old, I didn't know what climate change was. I didn't know what greenhouse gases. I knew what greenhouse gases were. I was starting to get really interested in science at that time, and I knew that something could be done, even though I really didn't have any capability to express that. I was always different from everybody else, and I would say, why can't they build an alternate source of energy? And people look at me like, what? You're from another planet. No, I'm not. We can do this. And oh yeah, big oil's gonna throw a hissy fit. Well, whoop-de-doo. Come on. We got this one planet, and unless we have the capabilities, like I said, to build a galactic railway to get us to one of the other mini Goldilocks planets, so my dad would say, well, what if the other Goldilocks planets have relinquished all their supplies and used everything up? And I said, then, but they're actually quite a few planets that we could still uh, terraform, and well, actually wouldn't have to terraform, but a few planets that we could actually colonize. We would be a new kind of pioneer in a way. I think I love that word pioneer. It just gives me the old Oregon Trail. Yeah, you've died of dysentery. No, let's not go there. That brings back a lot of happy memories. Dysentery, what a wonderful thing it is. Anyway, sorry, I don't know why I got back on that trail or that track or that little sojourn there, off into Lord knows where. But I know there are probably a lot of fans out there, like I said, that are just not very pleased with the twist ending. But you gotta realize this really cuts close to home, and this is the kind of thing that can happen, especially in a world like if you've seen the movie Judge Dredd, it's actually very accurate and very logical and very rational in the way that it's set up and the way that it and all the different um, mechanisms of plot that it follows and the tropes that are in it. I know there are a lot of things that are common if you read like I do and you're familiarized with that kind of genre, action adventure and kind of like a cop drama. This itself is an apocalyptic book, and if you've read apocalyptic books like this or Clockwork Orange, one of my favorites, by the way, and the shocking value of that, or War of the Worlds. Actually, War of the Worlds had kind of a yeah, War of the Worlds had more of a devastating ending, and strangely enough, one of my favorite people, Orson Welles, that led to his notoriety. He gave a public apology, which I didn't know about until I saw it on the news. I thought, oh, my hero, he actually did that. God love him. Um, Iconoclast that he was, and nihilist that he was. I mean, he still was a great man. Wish I could have met him, but anyway, um, it just goes to show that this future could indeed occur, and we as human beings, and I'm actually going to go into a little bit of Greg Braden's philosophy because I'm just such an aficionado of his. He expresses the Hopi philosophy that we can either take the good path and follow what's right and use our resources wisely and be kind to others, etc. Just do things in a humanitarian, philanthropic way, or we can keep being capitalists and take a harder way. And yeah, we will meet or we will go beyond the veil of confusion that we have now. We're going to go into we're already in the age of Aquarius, so it'll be interesting to see what this age of Aquarius will bring us. Uh, but it's rather intriguing, I think. Uh, but I myself, I think that if you've read Divergent and Insurgent, that you absolutely must read Allegiant, because it ties a lot of the loose ends together, and you're left with making up your own ending, and it's kind of an up in the air kind of conclusion. There's really no there's a big climax. There's really no denouement. I mean, it just sort of hangs there. You're left to make your own kind of estimate or conclusion as to what happens with the let's say with the 4. I'm not going to say what occurs there because I'm definitely not going to give you any spoilers, but that's basically all I have to say about Allegiant, other than I think that it's really quite the phenomenal book, and it's really tremendously written, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's one of those books that's really truly a page turner, and it holds your fascination from the very beginning when you start reading it. And Veronica Roth really is quite the master of the pen to paper, I feel. Um, it just it's it just hits closer to home, I feel, and it's kind of a distressing wake up call, I think. Um, I don't know if any of you other Allegiant fans out there feel similarly to than I can't even talk. I'm so sorry. I just had a bad day. Uh, it's probably best that I just go to sleep and call it a night. But uh, you know what I'm trying to say. I can't really convey my feelings too well tonight. But in my next review, I'm hoping to see 12 Years a Slave. I just saw the trailer for that, and it's based on a real story. And I absolutely love biopics. The Butler was one of my favorite movies this year, even though a lot of people would probably say that it was very challenging to watch. And yes, it is, because they don't sugarcoat anything, and they portray the president's in not a very positive light. The only one that they did that to is one of my favorites, which is JFK. Uh, but they did a little bit with Reagan. Reagan they shed a nice light on, but they did more so with JFK. I feel in that particular film, because I think he was a little bit more open-minded, being the first Irish Catholic president. But I'm not sure what else to say other than I'm really looking forward to this biopic, and it looks absolutely remarkable, and I'm sure I'm going to bawl like a baby seeing it. I'm looking forward to Ender's Game. Of course, yeah, I got a friend who says there are controversial things in the book. Yeah, there are controversial things in that book, but it's been a long time since I've read the three books when I was growing up, and I'm still a very level-headed individual. I don't think it changed me. I'm an iconoclast. I mean, I don't let convention define me. I'm my own person. I don't let other people's opinions shape me. I am who I am. What you see is what you get. I'm not a person who's going to um, let society dictate who I should be, why I should be, and what I should do, what I should wear. No, I was never like that. I'm outside the box. The box does not contain me. I am a free spirit. Um, I think that's what Ender's Game is about. I think that's what sci-fi is about in general. Just I was talking to Monk of Magnesia on Who Had Won, and I mentioned that very thing. Sci-fi, the whole idea of sci-fi is embracing the idea of change and how change defines us as human beings. If we do not evolve, we will perish in the future somehow, some way. We have to continue to push ourselves beyond our limits of comfort, and change and progress are just inevitable as we continue to move upward in our growth. That's what I feel. But I'm a Darwinist, so that's why I say what I do. Uh, I'm also looking forward to Thor: The Dark World, and of course Catching Fire, The Hunger Games. That's why I mentioned that. Um, in the comparison and contrast between Allegiant and Mockingjay. Um, also looking forward to Medea's Christmas doesn't come out until December, so I can't really say that yet. But yeah, I certainly, you know, me being the Medea fan that I am, I have to go see it. Um, let's see, Frozen, but I I hate the fact that my dad really doesn't care for animated films. It's just not his cup of tea. He loved Tangled though. He absolutely adored that. He ate it up, and he also liked Monsters University, but sadly half the time when we saw it he fell asleep. When we saw Despicable Me 2, he fell asleep. So I thought, ugh, no, forget it. I mean, I don't want to go see a movie where he's gonna fall asleep. I mean, when I was younger, we went to see the Pokemon films. He would fall asleep in those, so it's not a thing. But that's okay. I understand. He's not like me. Animation just doesn't really interest him like it does me. For me, it's something about the whole art form and motion, and I love to see that. There's something very nostalgic about seeing a Disney cartoon. I think it just makes me feel like a kid again, and I guess I'm still a big kid. Um, it absolutely looks beautiful, and besides that, the plot is very, very interesting, and the characters are very likable. I feel, and the the color and the shading, the light, and um, the different kind of I wonder what kind of story this was based off. I bet it was based off a Russian fairy tale, because why else would it be set in snow and ice? Um, but it would have to be a happy Russian fairy tale, because usually Russian fairy tales are very sad, depressing, and morose and bleak. I've read a lot of Russian stories myself. I'm reading Chekhov, for God's sakes. I like Chekhov a lot. But just like other Russian storytellers, he tends to be a little bit tragic. They are straightforward, they're frank, and they're forthright, and they don't sugarcoat things. They will tell you if a spade is a spade, and they will say it's how black it is. Um, I really don't have that much else to say, honestly, and I'm sorry I talked too long, but that's all I wanted to report for now, so I will see you next time. Live long and prosper. Ciao!